Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the tier 9 US destroyer, the Fletcher, and I'm using these modules and commander skills. Now this is an actual tier 9 match, which means I don't have to deal with any pesky gearings, and because of that I am in a very good position because some people say that the Fletcher is the most powerful ship for its tier. Now I spawned near the A cap on the map Loop and I headed straight for the cap zone. However, unfortunately, I make a bit of a mistake here and I reverse out of the cap zone for no real reason. But it doesn't really matter, at least in hindsight, because there is an enemy Akizuki that also headed for the A cap and, well, she was going to block me anyway. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse into the cap zone while turning, so that my rear points towards where the enemies would come from. Just in case I suddenly get spotted, I can immediately bolt, because surviving tends to lead to a lot more victories than simply dying for nothing at all. Basically, I'm just going to sit here and block the cap zone until other ships on my team do something, or the enemy team gets close enough that they start threatening me and I want to run away.
Torpedoes to port.
I drop these basically random torpedoes. I do have radio, which tells me the general location of the closest enemy, and that's kind of what I use those torpedoes on, but I don't expect anything from them. By the way, at this current moment, the USS Black should have been given out, so perhaps the Fletcher is not the strongest tier 9 ship anymore, considering there is a destroyer with radar now at the same tier that has the same stuff as the actual Fletcher. So, at this point, again, I'm just gonna sit here. Also, by the way, I'm sorry about that Windows sound effect. Okay, so we see where the Edinburgh is going. We are also... Okay, the Akizuki actually came around the corner, so I open fire, and I use smoke immediately because I don't want to get picked off. And I'm gonna slowly keep moving here, because I still want to be inside the smoke screen while the Akatsuki spots for me, but I also want to be moving because I don't want to get torpedoed, and luckily I dodged the first salvo of torpedoes. Now there might be a second one though, because she could use the consumable that reloads torpedoes, and those torpedoes might come in right now, so I'm gonna start reversing in that direction. Unfortunately, there is a Missouri within 8 kilometers that has radared me, and this radar lasts for 35 seconds, and I don't really have any... I don't have a good opportunity to try to run away at this moment because, well, if I do, I will simply be in the open. Right now I can at least utilize this island here to block shots from the Izumo and the Missouri, although I can't block shots from other directions. Okay, so the smoke screen disappeared, which is very good for me. Now the Missouri is going to come around the corner. Hopefully I'll be able to cap this base, but if I can't, that's alright, I will simply run away. Now, I do want to leave this Missouri with a little gift to pay back for that radar. And that is some sweet, sweet torpedoes. But I have to wait a little bit until she actually comes around the corner. Meanwhile, I'll be shelling this Izumo. Unfortunately, well, the Missouri and the Izumo are both inside the cap zone, so I can't really take this one. So I'll just torpedo and then start running. Because there really is little reason to stay in this cap zone, because I will simply die. So torpedoes away, and now I'm gonna speed boost and run away. I'll try going for the location where the friendly Friedrich and Izumo are. And oh, these torpedoes look very good on point. Hopefully she takes all of them, because screw you, Missouri. Damn, only 2 torpedoes. Then again, it did decap her a little bit and caused 2 floodings. Okay, so, she does probably not have damage control party anymore. However, I am within 9.6 kilometers, which is my stealth fire range, so I will likely be spotted if I were to fire my guns right now. Not to mention that they likely have a destroyer over there. I think it's a Mahan. By the way, I noticed the option in the menu settings that you can actually add ship names. I do wish it was like a toggleable button, like I would have to, I don't know, press Alt or something to show the names on the minimap. But I guess it's good enough. So now I am fairly far away, so I start opening fire on this Missouri and doing stealth firing. If this were on the PTS patch 0.6.3, I would currently be spotted by the Missouri, because what that patch does is it makes your detection range while firing equal to your gun range. Which basically means that on US destroyers you will want to unequip your range upgrade, because it will simply screw you over. You don't really need, what is that, 12.9 kilometers range? I think 11 something is good enough. So I met up with these two battleships and I'm gonna give them a smoke screen because that helps my teammates. I know, shocking, people actually doing teamwork. Okay, so I can't shoot at the Missouri, unfortunately, because she deserves all the shells I could fire at her. But I can still fire at the Izumo, and that's good enough. Hopefully the smoke screen also covers the Izumo, and the Akatsuki keeps spotting for us. If not, I do hope that the Friedrich or the Izumo would launch their float plane and then spot with that instead, because the float plane definitely would spot the Izumo and the Missouri. Okay, maybe not the Missouri, I'm not quite certain on the air detection range of that one, but the Izumo most definitely. So I'll just keep firing here. I have two battleships in front of me that are covered by a smoke screen, so they will make any other ship coming in here quite scared, although those torpedoes are problematic. So I'm gonna do another pass and I'm gonna turn closer. I do have torpedoes in 10 seconds. I don't really want to fire right now because I would be spotted, since my current position is not covered by that smoke screen. Although I could have got a few nice hits on the Mahan. Also, it's very good that the Missouri is 11 kilometers away. That means she can't actually radar me, and these torpedoes are very likely to deal some damage to said Izumo. I will fire my guns at another target. I don't want to... Oh, okay. Good job, friendly Missouri, for taking out that Pepsi Cola. Okay, come on. Oh my god. Did my torpedo... Okay, at least one torpedo hit the Izumo and caused the flooding, so now opening fire on the Izumo would likely cause fire. Unfortunately, there is this pesky Mahan around that has spotted me. So I will switch targets to her instead and keep running away. Because I'm spotted anyway, I might as well... Oh, I hit another torpedo. Hopefully it's on the Missouri, because screw that guy for radaring me that one time. Okay, actually I seem to be losing this encounter here. I think the Izumo has targeted me for secondaries or something. Well, did. At this point it might be the Friedrich. So I'm gonna stop firing because I am very low HP. And I'll run away. If I can get within 9.6 kilometers, I will be out of the woods. Or, you know, I could just wait 20 seconds. Although I think actually in hindsight I should have just kept firing here and just outranged that. Oh well. In the new patch, you do have to disappear, otherwise you do have to stop firing, otherwise you will simply never disappear. So my torpedoes are reloaded again, so I'm gonna go closer, but I don't think I can actually torpedo that Iowa. There is that friendly Missouri around, and I don't want to actually accidentally hit that guy. Although hitting that Missouri over there, I would be rather happy to. However, there's a problem. You see, there are 3 battleships. I think they are battleships. 3 shipwrecks in between that would catch my torpedoes, so I think I'm going to actually fire the other... Well, one of them is on the Missouri, but the other one I think I'm gonna fire at the Friedrich, or at least where I predict the Friedrich to be in the future. And she's actually turning that way. That's incredible, and very good for me. Now I'm gonna put some distance between me and the Friedrich so I can utilize my stealth fire to fire at 9.6 kilometers. Unfortunately, she is within 8.3 kilometers. I think one of these is gonna hit. I mean, it looks pretty good, no? Although it's only going to be like 1, maybe 2. Come on. Excellent. Good job, Friedrich, by catching the second one as well. And in a moment I'm gonna be within 9.6 kilometers. By the way, the Friedrich actually got a flooding, so she probably used Damacon. Sorry, she definitely used Damacon, so if I get a fire, that fire is going to stick on the Friedrich and will likely just kill her. I'll be honest here, using smoke at this moment was kinda pointless. I could have just sat there and fired normally. Unfortunately, I used my smoke screen. Oh well, it is what it is. Now, the troublesome thing is that this Missouri might come close enough to actually radar me, and I don't know if I should stick around. You see, I'm not really close enough for the smokescreen to be that useful, so I'm just gonna torpedo and run away from the smokescreen. And oh, there's the radar, and I'm only 100 meters from disengaging, so I will disappear in a moment. And there it is. If I had stayed in the smoke screen, I would still be visible. Now, those torpedoes might hit, and if they hit the Missouri, she will die, which is everything she deserves, but because I still have stealth fire, I can just use my guns as well, in case the torpedoes miss or she dodges or something. But I think that one of them is gonna... Yep, goodbye. You deserve it for radaring me. So now I've had my revenge, it's time to go closer to them and utilize my stealth fire to the... I'd like to say utmost, but it's a destroyer. The guns aren't exactly high DPM. Well, against the battleship anyway. I don't actually know why I just used speed boost. I mean... Yeah, it's helpful that it got me a little bit closer, but I'm gonna slow down in a moment. By the way, check this out, look at how high I'm aiming. And the Iowa is clearly sailing closer to me in reverse. Yet my shells are actually not reaching far enough. The hell is up with that? I don't understand. I have to aim even higher. Oh well, I got a fire, which she quickly put out, so... If I get another fire like... I don't know, from the salvo I fired right now, then that fire should actually stick on the Iowa. Yeah, like I said, using speed boost here was useless because I'm literally standing still right now utilizing my stealth fire. I had to switch targets to this Friedrich though, and unfortunately that means I did not get a running fire on the Iowa. Hopefully I'll get some on this Friedrich. And that's a high caliber. By the way, it's a 5 against 4, so we have not actually quite won the game yet. It's quite possible that the enemy team can come back from this. Although I find that unlikely, because there's only 5 minutes to go and we do have a rather overwhelming points lead, and I think this Friedrich is going to die very soon as well. That's a fire, but I think she's gonna put out the fire. I mean, that would make sense. I could switch targets to the other Friedrich, but I would really like to pick one ship off. Because it's still possible that this game might snowball out of control for us. You see, if they kill like one ship and then after that soon kill another ship and then take 2 capstones, you know, this might really tumble out of control for us. Now I'm thinking a little bit about going closer. And unfortunately, I had to utilize my smoke screen for this. Okay, so that Friedrich is definitely dead. That fire is going to stick. So I wanted to say that I wanted to go closer. I was thinking about that, to utilize smokescreen, but unfortunately, while I fired my gun, I was slightly too close to this Friedrich, and I immediately used smokescreen because I don't have enough health to potentially weather the storm. I could have easily been just picked off there, so I wanted to minimize the amount of time I was spotted. Because if I take 2 overpens, I'm dead. If I take 1 penetration, I'm dead. So I wanted to make sure that I don't get picked off there, because, I mean, it could quite possibly have lost the game. You know, because that would have given the enemy team more time, due to the fact that our team lost points from their kill, and that could have given them time to get another one. So now I'm just essentially going to keep chasing the ships to deal as much damage as I can. Unfortunately, I'm rather far away, 11.2 kilometers. The shelf light time is 13 seconds. Okay, sorry, it's less than 13 seconds. Actually, it might be 13 seconds. You see, the shelf light time here says 12 seconds. And when I tested the maximum range on a Fletcher once, it said something like shelf light time was 17 seconds, but when I actually measured the amount of time it took for my shells to, from pressing the fire button to actually the shells hitting, it took like 21 seconds, so I don't know. The numbers are probably lower than they actually are. I'm not quite certain why this is. It might be because the shells are really floaty or something. Okay, so they are capping the B cap. I think I should switch targets to the Iowa, but I'm not quite certain if my shells actually are fast enough to reach to... Oh, okay. Apparently the Iowa accidentally left the cap zone, so I didn't actually need to fire at the Iowa to decap, although I think it would not have made a difference anyway, considering the amount of points they have. Although if you look at it, you see, there are only 2 ships left, and if I had been dead, there would only be 1 ship left. So I got a fire and I switched to AP. I wanted to check how much damage AP would deal in this kind of a scenario. You see, the problem with firing AP is that, from what I understand, the further the shells travel, the less they have penetration, so I feel that HE at this kind of range on a destroyer like the Fletcher might be a better choice. At least in most scenarios. If she is perfectly broadside, then sure, AP is fine. Okay, this Friedrich is too close for me to fire my guns. I need to stay hidden. Oh, and the Akatsuki actually also went down. So if I had died earlier through some accident, this would have been a loss. Unfortunately, there are only 3 ships on the enemy team, not 4, so this will not be a solo warrior, but I have every intention of winning this game, so I'm not gonna do anything risky like fire my guns right now. That would simply be stupid. So I will simply sail away and let time run its course. Because this is going to definitely be my victory. And there is nothing that Friedrich or the Missouri can do about it. I think this red camo looks really good. I'm not quite certain how good it looks on the Fletcher, but I think it does look good overall. So let's take a screenshot at the end to commemorate this match, because I have nothing better to do anyway, because winning a game like this is just this easy. And there it is, 2 seconds, there's the game, with 937 to 691 points. Capping wins games. Although I didn't really do any capping this game. So, 532,000 credits, a first blood, a high caliber, unfortunately no solo warrior, 198,000 damage, 362 shell hits, a lot of them were in stealth fire, 3 ships destroyed, 7 fires, 7 torpedo hits, and some missions completed, and even some decaps. So team score 2,452 base experience. But if you actually look at my team, you'll be surprised that Literally every single ship has at least 1,000 base experience, which is really good. It's a really good indicator for my team. 1.1 million potential damage taken, so I did get shot at quite a bit. And well, unfortunately a lot of my damage is on battleships, although I did deal a lot of damage to that Akizuki. Then again, she did something very silly, which is push into a Fletcher plus a Katsuki combo, and did not actually utilize smokescreen to hide. 30,000 commander experience. Thank you very much, Dragon Flags. And Valentine's Camo and Zulu Hotel. And 360,000 credits profit. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then like it. If not, then dislike it. And I would like to thank the Patreons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support. More boat, and I hope I see you guys next time. P.S. I really don't like the Stealth Fire nerf.